For today's reading lesson, we're going to be taking a look at character analysis. When we do a character analysis, boys and girls, it gives us a better idea or better insight of who the character is and how that character changed from the beginning of the story to the end of the story. In this case, we'll say drama or play because we're reading a play for this week's story. So what we're going to take a look at is to analyze what the character says, what the character does, how the character feels, and then looking at some of the character traits, okay? Now, before you begin this, completing this form, if you're doing it online, please make a copy of it so that you'll have your own copy and then you can send it to me. You make a copy by first clicking on the file button. You'll go down to where it says make a copy and click on that. And then you can just change your name, the name of this document to your name. And so this will now be your own personal document that you can type on, okay? So let's get started with today's lesson. I'm going to be doing this as a graphic organizer. I know that many of you are familiar with graphic organizers from the classroom, and if you want to make a graphic organizer that looks like this, that's fine. Just go ahead, make it, and then take a picture of it and send it to me. So the character that we're going to be analyzing today is Manny. And the first thing we want to take a look at is what does the character say? Okay, so let's go to our story. And we're going to look at some of the dialogue between Manny and the other characters. Okay, let me get rid of that and bring this down. Let's see if I can make this a little larger so that we can all see it clearly. Okay. So going to the beginning of the story, we see Manny on the bench by himself. And when Gail finally does speak to Manny, Manny replies, "Hi, you're not a bad soccer player, Gail." So I want to include that into something that the character says because it shows us that Manny is kind by the fact that he gives a compliment. Okay, so you're not a bad soccer player, Gail. Sorry about that. Now, boys and girls, what you'll notice is that I have put his quotations or the things that he actually said. I've gone ahead and I've put those in quotation marks. Quotation at the beginning and a quotation mark at the end. This will tell someone that is reading this paper is that you chose the words exactly how Manny said it in the book or in the story. Okay, so that's why we're using quotation marks here. Let's see if there's anything else that I'd like to use. We see here in the conversation where Gail says, Carla, she says she's not as good as Carla. Manny also says, yes, she's great. So once again, we see that Manny is giving compliments, which shows that he's a pretty cool or pretty kind person. Kind people give compliments. Let's look at this dialogue here. Manny, I've noticed something. Their goalie always moves to her left when we're ready to take a shot. I think I could score on her. I'm going to add that here. Just that one part, one sentence. I think I could score on her. And boys and girls, I think that this quotation is very important in understanding who Manny is, because he's the one who came up with how to win the game or the strategy. So by him saying he can score on the other team tells us that he's already planning something, okay? Let's go back to our story, see if there's anything else. Oh, let's look at this. I think I can, when Carla asks, I hope you can play well, Manny. And Manny replies, I think I can, and I have an idea. When we attack, drive to the goalie's left, and then pass back across to me. I think the net will be open. So let's go ahead and add that. Just the first part where it says, I think I can, and I have an idea. Okay, and like we said, this also is giving us headway or little glimpse into the plan that Manny is going to come up with. Now, boys and girls, this drama was not very long. But in longer dramas, you'll find that there's some dialogue between characters that wouldn't really give us insight into the character. Like, for example, if there was a line in this play that Manny says, please pass water, is that really important, or does that really tell us about who that character is? I would say no. So if and when you're doing this on your own, boys and girls, in the future, you must begin thinking, does that quotation or what the character is saying in this instance, does it really help me understand who this character is? Okay, so let's move on to the next part. It says, what does the character do? Well, we know that Manny is important to this drama because Manny comes up with the idea to help his team win the game. Okay, that is the main thing that he does here. Okay, so let's move down now. How does the character feel? So when we're talking about how a character feels, boys and girls, I want us to analyze it in two ways. How the character feels at the beginning of the story, and then how the character feels at the end of the story. Because in narratives or in dramas, that character usually changes throughout the story, okay? So we're going to say in here. Okay, we'll say in the beginning of the story, Manny feels lonely and shy. Okay, so even though the author did not come right out and tell us that he's feeling lonely and shy, we can tell this because at the beginning of the story, he's sitting on the bench by himself. Remember, he didn't just go straight to the group and begin talking and introducing himself. He kind of stayed back and waited for a character to approach him. Okay, and I believe it was Lauren or Gail who started to talk to him first. Okay, so that's at the beginning of the story. At the end of the story, Manny feels excited because he gives the team an idea to help them win the game. He is no longer lonely. Okay, so he goes from being shy and lonely at the beginning to being excited that he helps his team win. Okay, and then for the last part, it says, what traits describe the character? Circle all that apply. Now, I'm not going to be able to circle this. I could, but it would just take too long. So instead, what I'm going to do is to, let's see if I can use a highlighter for these. Instead, I'm gonna go here, make this a little larger so that you can see. Come down, okay. So it says, what traits describe the character? Circle all that apply. So I'm going to highlight the ones that apply. Lazy? No, he's not lazy. Hardworking. Yep, I would say that he's hardworking. Okay. He's a team player. Yes, he is. He wanted everyone to come together and work as a team. Cooperative. Yes, he cooperated with his classmates or with his teammates. Mean. No, we saw that Manny gave compliments, so I wouldn't say that he's mean. Joyous or happy. Yes, at the end of the game, he was definitely joyous. Honest. I would say yes, because remember there was dialogue where he said that he faced a soccer player like the goalie that they were looking at in Guatemala. And so because he was able to win the game, I think he was being honest about that fact. Brave. Maybe, I'm not sure about that one. I'll come back to that. Was he a leader? Yes. Courageous, meaning he showed courage. I would say he was courageous because he had to show courage against that other team. Definitely. So I know, boys and girls, that courageous and bravery, they mean about the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight brave also, now that I've given it more thought. Loyal. Yeah, he showed loyalty to his team members. Selfish. When someone is selfish, boys and girls, it means that they don't share. And we definitely saw instances where Manny wanted to share the spotlight. He wasn't just trying to solve this problem on his own. He shared the opportunity so that it would be a team of heroes. Messy. The book or the story didn't really say anything about him being messy. Bossy? Nah, he wasn't bossy. He suggested an idea, but he didn't say, hey, you'd better do this idea or something would happen. He definitely was not bossy. And smart. Yes, he was smart because he came up with the strategy to win the game. Okay, boys and girls, so that is it. Please, like I said, fill out the paper, use these answers, or you may add to this. For example, if you want to add additional quotations, or if you'd like to add other things about what the character does, how the character feels, okay? And if you disagree with some of the traits that I chose, I'd love to see what you chose for the players and to hear why, all right? So I am going to go into a full screen here so that you'll be able to see everything. If you wanted to freeze the video. Okay, there you go. That's my entire chart completed. On Monday, boys and girls, you're going to be completing this same chart for Carla. Okay, so that's why I wanted us to do this together today. And then on Monday, you'll be doing it for Carla. All right, boys and girls. Well, that is it for today's lesson. I look forward to seeing you all soon. Take care.